Hey guys, Jesse here, and today I'm going to be unboxing the RG Crossbone Gundam X1. So, as many of you may well know, RG isn't really my thing. I actually don't really like them. The last one I built, I believe, was the RG Amatsu Mina. But since then, I haven't had any interest in RG. It's just not really the line for me. It appeals more to straight builders, and when I do build an RG, I usually just straight build it because I just don't want to deal with having to paint and mess with such tiny parts. However, I love the Crossbone Gundam. I've always wanted a Crossbone Gundam, and I really, really wanted the MG, but the Master Grade has a lot of missing paint apps, and I really don't want to paint yellow. That's like the main color the Master Grade is missing is yellow. They ever come out with the 2.0, I will for sure get it, but if I really wanted a nice Crossbone Gundam in 1 to 100 scale, I would probably have to repaint that entire Master Grade for me to be satisfied at least. And I just don't want to do that. So when I saw that this was out and I saw it on the shelf in GameStop, it was sort of an impulse buy. In fact, all my RGs have been impulse buys so far. But anyways, I just wanted to try it out because, again, I really want a nice Crossbone Gundam, and hopefully the RG will have enough color separation that it will give me the Crossbone I need. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the box. I know there's been a lot of changes to the RG line. For example, I know that you now build up the inner frame as opposed to kind of popping it off the runner and twisting and kind of forming it instead of actually like snapping pieces together. It seems like you've got a lot of different face options for the two sort of options for the face here. The core lander is actually, or the core, I don't know if it's core fighter or core lander, I'm not sure, but it actually comes off of the Gundam and you can swoosh it around. You've got some separating knee parts here with the bend, and of course you get different options for that. Beam rifle, beam pistol, which is super cool. Looks like a flintlock pistol, always dig that. And you also get the full cloth, or the cloth. I think the full cloth is an entirely different version of the Crossbone Gundam. But in any case, you do get the cloth there. It is plastic, unfortunately, but hey, at least we get it. And you get a whole heap of beam effect parts, which is super cool, and they look really nice, especially that beam scimitar thing. Looks really cool. Of course, they've got it posed here with some cloth and stuff, and you also get the, I think this is called the stilettos or whatever, the knife coming out of the foot, essentially. So let's go ahead and open it up and take a look. Whoop. So we start out first with the stickers, of course, and unfortunately I saw this earlier when I was getting everything out of the cellophane. The little like red on the face are actually stickers. I was really hoping they'd be able to get that separated with parts, but looks like we're going to have to deal with stickers on that. But as far as an RG sticker sheet goes, this feels a little small, which I think is better. I always thought the earlier RGs especially just had way too many decals. It was just overly detailed with decals, but this is a pretty good amount, and I'm sure there's plenty of leftover for customs. Then we hop straight into the beam effect parts, and these just look so good. They're really nice deep pink, and they're really well sculpted, very sharp sculpting and molding on these, especially this beam scimitar. Definitely going to be posing it with that. The beam sabers are actually really skinny. They've actually got them really nice and skinny. Then you kind of have like the beam punchy parts, and I'm not sure what those two are for, but you've got them. Then next up, you've got the cloth, which again is, it's hard plastic. I was really hoping that kind of be a rubbery material, but I'm not going to be using this. I will show it off in the build, but at least you get it. And apparently it's posable enough that you can fit the arms through and all that stuff. But it is nicely sculpted. It's pretty nice. It looks simple enough that it's not going to be a total pain to work with. And then you've got this B plate, which seems to be the only plate with the RG style dual molding, where you kind of have this softer plastic on the harder plastic, and you just kind of loosen up the ball joints or whatever to get the piece you need, the joints you need. And it seems you've got the chest part here, and I'm going to guess that's for the backpack, the big crossbones on the back. Next up, you've got your A plate, the multicolor plate. Really, really nice colors on this. It's really dark, which I really like, especially for the Crossbones Gundam. I was really afraid this would be a lot brighter than they actually should be. The yellow is coming out way more yellow on camera than it is in real life. It's actually sort of an orange almost, more so a yellow. But yeah, really nice colors here. Of course, RG having a really nice detail. So yeah, that looks good to me. Here's D. I think there's 2 D plates here. Yep, we'll be taking a look at one. You've got all your white parts essentially for the arms and legs and crossbone back pieces. These are really, I feel like the pieces here are a lot thinner than older RGs, which is a good thing. I mean, this is a smaller Gundam. It belongs in the F91 sort of era universe or whatever. That's still UC, but I guess you know what I mean. That sort of time period where all the Gundams were getting smaller, and as a result, this kit is quite small. But yeah, looking pretty good. I'm really hoping this and this aren't seam lines and they're just panel lines, but because that would really suck to have to fix seam lines on an RG. I know they're usually good about that. Then you get this E plate with a whole heap of hands. Those are some really cool looking open hands. And you kind of have these, I believe these are holding hands, trigger finger hands. Yeah, they're also sculpted really cool. Oh, even the fists are like styled a bit. They're not just straight closed fists. They're kind of angled out here, as you can see from the pinky and the index finger. That looks really cool. This is a softer plastic, so that new sort of inner frame material that Bandai has been sticking with for a while now. But yeah, you've got a lot of hand options, which is really, really good. And I'm glad I'm glad they got rid of the RG hands, the like 3-1 in the thumb hands that they used for old RGs. I'm so glad they've been rid of that for a while now, because those were just absolutely useless and awful. Next up, you've got, I don't know what plate this is, C. That's a weird place to put the number, but in any case, more white parts. Looks like you got some skirt armor stuff. All the weapons seem to be on here. Really, really nice, fine detail on a lot of these parts. And you've actually got your little pilot figure here. I might actually attempt to paint this one just because I've never attempted to paint anything this small, but it should be fun. Oh, look, the little crossbone is separated there, which I was expecting, but on this scale, that's just super duper small, and the detail on that is fantastic for the size. That's great. Yeah, very cool. Very nice plate. Very nice detail on this kit. Then I believe this is a double plate. Yep, so 2 F plates. And this seems to be all inner frame. Again, you now build up the inner frame as opposed to just popping it off and bending it into place. And it's another one of this soft material, inner frame material. You've got the long cable, I'm assuming, for the skirt armor claw thingies that come out of the front skirts. Here's one of your foot stilettos, I'm guessing. Very, very differently shaped than the old ones. This might just be a separate weapon, but usually the foot stilettos were just skinny and straight. This is more curved and more like a hunter's knife, which is really cool. But yeah, really nicely detailed. Looks like you've got a complete inner frame. And if you really want to paint this up or do something special, it would look really nice. So those are all your plates. Not too many for an RG. I feel like that's less than even the simpler RGs out there, or smaller RGs, I should say. Now we've got the manual. It's a typical RG manual. I actually flipped through this a little bit, but there you go. It's called the Core Fighter. But yeah, it just seems pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy about the build. Here it is showing off some details. I think it's going to look really nice. Again, I'm pretty disappointed that the face red lines aren't separate pieces, and as you can see from that picture, because they're stickers and not parts, it's gonna come out lighter red than the actual parts. They couldn't even hide that in the photos, but It looks like the face itself is going to transform as opposed to parts form, which could be good or bad. I'm going to assume it's going to be kind of flimsy and loose, but who knows. RG technology has improved last time I heard. But yeah, pretty cool manual. We've got some color in there now, it seems. I don't remember if there were color in the previous RGs. But let's see. Do we have anything interesting going on here? Any cool gimmicks? You've got the full, or the anti-beam coating mantle. That's really what it does. I've never read Crossbone or anything Crossbone related, so I don't know what any of its ornaments really are. I didn't know this mantle was not cloth. I don't know, that's weird. Anti-beam coating mantle. Just looks like a hobo cloth to me, but whatever. And it looks pretty easy. You just kind of put it together and you take off the head and just slip it on. So no real having to disassemble the Gundam that much. And then, of course, you've got the weapons here that can come together and make a whole heap of different options for the Crossbones Gundam. And that seems to be it. Really, nothing too amazing or special here. I'm glad that you can actually form the weapons as opposed to having to parts form them with special connectors or anything. It seems like it's all going to be encompassed as it would in like the master grade or something. And yeah, it looks like I was right. That foot stiletto is that sharper knife, or that hunter looking knife. Yep, that's a pretty big redesign, I'd say. And then you've got all the different connections for the effect parts. It looks like that smaller effect part I said I didn't know what was for was simply to put onto the end of the punching part, which is cool. And yeah. Yep, and then that long cable is for the skirt armor grappling hook thingy. I'm guessing it's bendable enough. I don't know. It's made out of that. Actually, let's just see. And then you got all the markings here, but let's just see something. So here's that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see how you can bend this and have it stay in place without a wire. I think that's just going to have to shoot straight out of the skirt armor, which is pretty strange. I'm surprised they didn't give you a wire or anything like that. It is cool that it's molded with like chain detail, because the master grade, I believe, just comes as a black copper wire. But here they give you this in the frame material. So that's going to be interesting to check out how that's going to work entirely. But in any case, I'm going to go ahead and build this up after I finish my RE100 Vigna Gina, or whatever the hell this thing's name is. Give you guys a little preview. I've got it all snapped up. I just got to panel line it and weather it, so it's not going to take me too long. And then I'll go ahead and snap this guy up and get your review on those two kits. So that's it for me. Thank you all for watching, and I will catch you all next time. Bye-bye.